All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. We are going to react to a Johnny Arnett video today. This one's called "How Good Was Penny Hardaway Really?" And Penny, for those of you who don't know, I find it criminal that a lot of people have no idea how good Penny Hardaway was. Grant Hill's also on that list, and T-Mac is also on that list. But Penny was absolutely amazing before injuries, and I think there needs to be more videos made on the guy. So as always, description will be down below for the original video, and go send Johnny Arnett some love if you like his content, and ditto if you like my content. Let's watch this together. Here we go.
If he had stayed healthy, Reg, finish that sentence.
First ballot Hall of Famer, easily. I mean, could do everything. I know people like to compare him to Magic Johnson. They were different type, tall guards. Penny was special because he saw the floor like Magic, but I thought he was a better scorer and maybe post-up player than Magic.
At the time, in the early 90s, what was that, like 93, 94, when he was drafted, we kind of had this view that he was kind of a hybrid. He was the closest thing we've ever seen to Magic Johnson combined with Michael Jordan, because he was a killer on the offensive end when it came to scoring. But, dude, he would pass first. He had no problem with passing first, and he made it look damn good.
Remember, him and Shaquille at a young age.
I know.
Penny Hardaway. Remember the Penny Hardaway doll and the whole Tyra Banks thing?
Little Penny.
Chris Rock being the voice of the... He was part of the face of the league.
Comment down below if you guys remember Little Penny. That was hilarious stuff.
In a 1996 interview, Michael Jordan was asked who he saw as the next Michael Jordan, the guy he would pass the torch to when he does inevitably retire.
Yeah.
Michael said two players, Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway.
I remember that.
Penny was often compared more to Magic Johnson than Michael Jordan, since he was a large point guard standing at 6 foot 7 inches tall. Before Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant, Penny Hardaway was the feared wing player alongside of Shaquille O'Neal. He was drafted in 1993 with a 3rd overall pick by the Golden State Warriors, but the Warriors traded Penny and picks to the Magic for the rights to draft Chris Webber.
That's right.
The Magic had originally intended to draft Webber and pair him with Shaq, which is an interesting and rarely talked about what if.
Yeah, I think it would have just clogged the lane, though. So, it would have been interesting, though, because of what happened to Penny and his injuries. But if Penny wasn't injured, you saw how good that duo was. They were fantastic. And if you had Webb and Shaq in the paint in a 90s game, I don't know, dude. I think they would just clog the lane.
But after a second workout with Penny, they changed their mind and decided to make the trade. Upon Penny's first year in the league, he immediately made a significant impact, averaging 16 points, 6.6 assists, 5.4 rebounds, and 2.3 steals on 46.6% shooting.
Man.
He started the year as a shooting guard, but was mentored at the point guard position by Scott Skiles, who was a wise and solid point guard in his own right, and is still the single-game record holder for assists in a game with 30. With his developing skills and Skiles' mentorship, it didn't take very long for Penny to take the next step to superstardom. In only his second year in the league, he was the starting point guard, and he helped lead his team to 57 wins, while averaging 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.7 steals on an extremely point guard efficient 51.2% from
Yeah, those are some killer numbers for a second-year player. I mean, 4.4 rebounds, 7.2 assists, dude, on 21 points. Yeah. Penny was a real one.
Field. It's important to remember that the late 90s had some of the lowest scoring.
See, that's the kind of stuff that makes you think like that, and he would throw down some crazy dunks. So it was like you really had that Jordan aspect, like that young Jordan aspect, but he passed like magic, dude.
Seasons since the 1950s. So if Penny played in just about any other era, his numbers would have looked even better. They topped it off with a trip to the NBA Finals, where they were ultimately swept by the Houston Rockets. But that certainly wasn't Penny's fault. He showed up in the series big, averaging 25.5 points, 8 assists, and 4.8 rebounds on 50%.
Dude. Yeah, see, that's crazy. That's crazy. He didn't shy away from pressure. That was another thing. Right off the bat, he was pretty damn clutch. Confident. And, yeah, man.
Shooting. At this point, as only a 23-year-old, Penny was recognized as a legitimate superstar and as one of the elite players in the league, despite the fact that he was still around 5 years short of his prime. Penny was the perfect example of a retro player who would average monster numbers if he played in today's game.
Dude, he was my favorite player. Because he came in when Jordan retired. I didn't know Jordan was coming back. So Penny quickly became my favorite player. And the duo between him and Shaq, dude, that was must-see TV back then.
He was a large point guard who could often exploit mismatches with smaller defenders on him. In his early 20s, he was a fantastic ball handler with remarkable court vision and passing abilities. He was a great scorer who was very efficient from the field, and you also had to respect him from three-point range. You also had to be careful with the ball around Penny, as he was usually among the league leaders in steals.
Yeah, he was.
Remember, we've covered all of this talent.
Another reason why he reminded me of Jordan.
And numbers from Penny so far, and we've still only addressed his first 2 years in the NBA. His third year would be the best of his career, leading his Magic to a 60-22 record while putting up numbers of 21.7 points, 7.1 assists, and 4.3 rebounds on 51.3% shooting. They made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals this season.
See, no matter what, his ego didn't take over. So he's getting 22 points, but he's still focusing on those assists. And when you got a guy like Shaq, dude, you don't have to think twice. Especially this was prime Shaq, young Shaq, athletic, skinny Shaq. He just lobbed the ball into the big man and he'll throw it down for you.
Season, but the 72-10 Bulls were on their revenge tour and were way too much for the Magic to handle. Sadly, this would be Penny's last healthy season as a developing superstar. It also marked the offseason where Shaq left the Magic for the Los Angeles Lakers. In the 97-98 season, Penny dealt with a multitude of injuries and only played in 59 games that year.
Yeah.
The season after that, he had a devastating left knee injury, which required surgery and forced him to miss all but 19 games that year.
It was really sad because Shaq ditches him. And he goes out and he's playing his ass off that next year, all alone on the Magic, you know. And he plays his ass off and he injures himself, and he was never the same after that. There's always been a part of me that wondered, what if Shaq didn't leave? Would Penny have pushed himself that far, injured himself, ended his career prematurely, even though I know he stayed in the league? But, you know, those who knew, you know, he was never the same guy again. Yeah, I always kind of wish... the way I got pissed off at LeBron when he left Cleveland and went to Miami, I kind of did the same thing with Shaq for a little while there. I kind of hated Shaq those first couple of years in LA because he ditched my favorite, you know, my new favorite player, Penny Hardaway. And then I inherently hated Kobe Bryant because that was his new Penny. So it's interesting going full circle now and remembering Penny because he was kind of the reason why I hated that Lakers team. That's where the hatred started, at least. And then Phil Jackson going to coach them, that was just like pouring salt in the wound.
From this point on, Penny's superstar promise was gone. And although he played 9 more years in the league,
Suns.
He was never an all-star again, and was at best a role player for the Suns, Knicks, and Heat. The truth is, we never saw this man's prime. He was barely 25 years old by the time the injury bug took over, but he could have been a perennial winner and one of the greatest all-around players to ever live if he had simply been more fortunate. Let me know in the comments section how good you think Penny would have been without the injuries. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh, man. I mean, with Penny, I feel the same way I feel, about Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady. Like, these could have been top 10, top 15 greatest of all time had it not been for injuries. They were really on that path. But that was kind of a short video. I didn't realize how short that video was. I might have to search around and find some more videos on Penny and also Grant Hill. But anyways, share some of your Penny memories down below. What do you think would have happened if Shaq stayed in Orlando and didn't ditch him? Do you think they would have eventually won a championship once Jordan retired for the final time? I think they probably would have, because the Lakers wouldn't have been born, you know? Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed this one. Go check out Johnny Arnett if you like this content, and shoot me a like, subscribe, and comment down below about your Penny memories. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Bye.